Hello dear guests, thank you for joining us today and your keen interest in mobile forensics. Today we'll focus our attention on iOS security. We'll start with the core elements of iOS forensics, explore iCloud mechanisms and protections, and draw some conclusions from the facts we'll learn. After that, we'll see how actually Elcomsoft phone breaker works and how easily it is to grab iCloud backups. Then we'll briefly go through other functions and opportunities of our programs because they can do a bunch of other wonderful things. We'll try to answer your questions that you will definitely have during our webinar. However, we're limited on time, so if we won't manage to do so, please feel free to email us at webinar@elcomsoft.com and we'll follow up over email. This is our plan for today's webinar, and now I'd like to start with a brief introduction of our company. More than 20 years ago, we started with a couple of password recovery tools for archives and office files that gained ever-growing popularity among average users who simply forgot their passwords. Later, help desk and IT security departments in small and large businesses. As the time went by, we developed more than 2 dozens of various tools for password recovery, data decryption, download and analysis for Windows and Mac operating systems for desktops and mobile devices, and became well known and well loved for digital forensics and law enforcement all over the world. Now we are going to start with performing physical acquisition of our iPhone 5 using our Elcomsoft iOS Forensic Toolkit dongle. Now that we have connected our Elcomsoft iOS Forensic Toolkit dongle to our computer, we're going to start the program. But first we have to choose between a version for jailbroken devices and a version for non-jailbroken devices. Since we have a jailbroken iPhone, we should use the toolkit jb.command file by double-clicking on it. Now that we have started the program, let's check the menu. Here we have a list of functions. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Right now we want to get the passcode. That's option number 3. So we should type 3 and press enter. iTunes might pop up, but we can switch it off. We don't need it. For jailbroken devices, we should also provide a root password, which is Alpine, and again Alpine. Here we get another menu where we can first see passcode type, second check 4-digit pins, and third perform a wordless attack, and fourth set custom passcode recovery patterns. First, let's check option 1, which will show us our passcode type. Now let's enter to continue and choose option number 2 in order to check all 4-digit pins. Enter Y for yes to continue. And you can see the toolkit starts to brute force all 4-digit pins. Here we have current pin. Average speed, which is pretty slow due to the fact that the brute force is running directly on the phone. And time elapsed. And finally, on 399th second, which is less than 7 minutes, we found our passcode, which is 7890. Actually, if it was 0987, we would find it much quicker because the search starts with 000, 001, 002, etc. But the complete search through all 4-digit passcodes is limited to 10,000 variants, so guaranteed to be found within approximately 10 minutes maximum. Now let's press enter to continue and get back to our passcode menu. We're not going to go through option number 3, which is perform a wordless attack, or 4, set custom passcode recovery patterns, because we have a simple 4-digit passcode and already found it. But such options exist and you can try to go through them if you have a stronger password type. So we enter 0 in order to get back to our main menu. And here we want to choose option 4, which is Get Keys. As we choose it, the toolkit suggests that we choose a file where to save our keys to, which is keys.plist by default, and it starts the extraction. At the same time, it shows us our passcode and backup password as well. Yes, here we can see our passcode that has been saved and the keys, which are still in encrypted form. Now we should get back to our main menu and select option 5 in order to decrypt our device keys. When asked where to save the decrypted keys, we simply choose the default files such as keychain.txt by pressing Enter button. We can also go to our system folder and check our extracted data over there. Here is the found and saved passcode in passcode.txt file. And here we have keys in keys.plist file. Now let's again get back to our main menu and choose option number 6 in order to take the disk image of our iPhone. We can take other system files or user files, or both. In our case, system files are not encrypted, so we'll take user files that are encrypted and decrypt them later. Taking disk image may take some time depending on the amount of data on the phone. Once all is done, we can decrypt the file system using option number 7. Decryption will also take some time. So we have made a disk image of our data, and now we can actually go through the files that we have extracted. They are sorted into folders, not a very convenient way to search through files, but still it's possible to search for some information. However, for viewing the decrypted data, we have a separate tool, Elcomsoft Phone Viewer, which I'm going to tell you about a little bit later. Now I want to demo how easily you can extract mobile data using Elcomsoft Phone Breaker. I'm saying easily because even though it's a forensic tool, we did everything to make a quick and convenient tool. It doesn't require any special learning at all. It supports BlackBerry, Apple, and Microsoft mobile devices. Let's try with Apple devices first. First, we'll try to decrypt an iTunes backup, which is local backup stored on a computer. So we should choose a backup and select a folder where we'll save our decrypted backup. Now we should enter a backup password if we know it. But if we don't know, let's imagine we don't know the backup password, which means we need to recover it. And here we have brute force attack and dictionary attack. In brute force attack, we can play with the text settings, defining password length, character sets, and adding language-specific characters. In dictionary attack, we can choose dictionaries or add our own dictionary. We can also apply different kinds of mutations with their minimal or maximal length. Setting up a recovery pipeline, we can define order of attacks. In our case, we want to start with brute force attack. And the backup password is Boris123, as you can see it. Now, let's get back to backup decryption in the main menu. Select our encrypted backup Okay, choose the folder where we want to save the decrypted backup again. Okay. And enter the password that we have found. And voila! Here is the decrypted backup data. That is still not easy to view, as you can see it, and search through, even though it's been decrypted. So what do we need in this case? We need a viewer. Elcomsoft Phone Viewer is a quick and lightweight tool for viewing and analyzing decrypted backups. Let's open our decrypted backup in it. Now we can easily look through calendars, contacts, media or messages. Now let's get back to our Elcomsoft phone breaker and proceed to keychain decryption. Again, we are choosing our backup for iPhone 5 and enter previously found backup password. Immediately we get our keychain data decrypted and displayed in a digestible view right in Elcomsoft phone breaker, which is also convenient for those who don't have Elcomsoft Phone Viewer yet. We can also export keychain data if we want it. Now let's see how downloading backup files from iCloud works. In order to try this option, we would need either Apple ID and password or an authentication token from the computer that was used for accessing iCloud. If we want to try with Apple ID and password first, we should complete both fields right here. And if the given Apple account is protected with two-step verification, we should enter either a secure code sent to one of the trusted devices or the recovery key. We'll use the recovery key. As you can see, even before downloading anything from the iCloud, we can look through some general information about the device bound with the same Apple account. You can see device's name, serial number, UDID, iOS versions, as well as backup size and time of its latest update. Now we can choose our device and select option Restore Original File Names. In this case, all data will be saved with the original file names as on the device. It could be convenient to use if you want to look through the data without having a dedicated tool for searching and viewing, like Elcomsoft Phone Viewer. We want to choose to download only specific data from the cloud, such as call logs, attachments, or calendar. All of these categories without any trash files. Downloading may take some time depending on the capacity of your iCloud storage or the amount of data you have saved in here from this very device. As soon as our backup has been downloaded, you can click an eye icon and check if the iCloud data is there. Yes, here is the downloaded data in chunks. A good option would be opening it in Elcomsoft Phone Viewer just by clicking on Elcomsoft Phone Viewer link. Of course, you would need to have Elcomsoft Phone Viewer installed. And in Elcomsoft Phone Viewer, we can easily go through calendars, contacts, media, messages, notes, and export all data as XML file. Now let's have a closer look at Elcomsoft Phone Viewer, yet another easy and lightweight tool. As you have already understood Elcomsoft Phone Break, you can call Elcomsoft Phone Viewer at the moment when iTunes or iCloud data has been downloaded and decrypted. That's been made for your convenience. But of course, you would need to install it separately unless you got both of the tools as part of Elcomsoft bundle. Here again, we should choose our backup. This would bring us to the main menu with essential devices information, including iOS version, serial number, EMI, etc. In the same window, we can choose to go into data categories such as calendars, call logs, contacts, media files, messages, or notes. For instance, we can go into calendars and check any data or month with all notes and events on it. We can also check contacts and filter them by source. But let's try images. Here we can select any of them and see all information about the picture, including its size or date of last modification. We could also save it to any place of our choice. It's also possible to check several pictures and save them anywhere else, or actually all of them. Again, for your convenience, we've implemented filters to sort by date, time range, type of media, or source media. In messages, we can also access deleted ones, which is quite valuable in forensics. But you can also apply various filters as in previously shown categories. And notes category is also pretty easy to view and search by keyword. For example, and in journal we can see all our operations that has been done in the program. That's been all about Elcomsoft Phone Viewer.